What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a little bit different of a video. Essentially, I figured there's no point in putting my face on here for this gameplay, and it's something I think people have kind of wanted anyways. But we are playing Kuro today, as you will see in just a moment whenever the game pops up. I spent quite a bit of time trying to get the footage I needed for this video. A lot of the footage will probably be in the compilation video, just because I have so much, but there was a few times I won and I just completely forgot to press record. So anyways, yeah, Kuro, I was completely wrong about. The deck is amazingly fun and has a ton of potential. Blackbeard TCG had a video going over it and linked person, I forget their name, but I'll put all the information in the description. So essentially, yeah, if you go second with Kuro, you can get the Nami Searcher out, which is kind of what you want to go for on that first go. We are playing Luffy, which was a little bit of a weird matchup, but I think the goal here was to kind of keep the board cleared and, you know, kind of just control things until they run out of resources so we can go in for the finish. So if you're not familiar with Kuro, his ability lets you rest 3 Dawn, rest 2 of your East Blue characters, and then restand him. So you can swing, rest 3, rest 2 characters, and then restand and swing again. So, and then there's also the event card called Out of the Bag, which if I remember correctly, I'm about to play because I wanted to be kind of aggressive in this game. There's not a super high power ceiling. So Out of the Bag is basically just Kuro's ability, but with 1 character, so it kind of mitigates having to rest 2 of your characters. The Nami Searcher, we're not too worried about. We do play the Law of Blockers, so you can recycle Nami and basically just pop her off the field and pop her right back on the field and get another search off. So they do have kind of a board here, but that's fine because we run things like Geen, which can tap 2 characters with 4 or less as long as your leader has East Blue type. But we go ahead and get another search. I will say this event card, MH5, there's a bug in the game. If you play it but you don't select 2 characters, it keeps the card in your hand. So I don't remember if that comes up in this game or if it was a different game, but essentially whenever I ran into the bug, I just didn't use the card. But or if I did use it, it was like discard fodder. I don't know. It's a weird caveat, pretty much. It's a bug you can't really work around. So I figure using it for discards probably better than, you know, actually using it again to rest characters to try to take care of them. So but that is something to be aware of, because like I said, I don't remember if it was this game or the next game or another game that that bug kind of came up. But they do Vista the beige off. We've got them, we're even in life right now. It's kind of just been a back and forth game, though I've had not that much of a board. I'm not too worried about their board, to be honest with you. Even with swinging with the Marco here, we're just going to take it. We get another blocker to hand. Essentially, you kind of have all these low-cost blockers that you can kind of spam the field with on a turn to kind of live until you do get to your higher ceiling of power. But see, something like a Rush Zoro, as long as you can take the hit, you're fine. The trigger effect comes off and it gets us into the Krieg. The Krieg is essential. So what Krieg does is, on play, you can trash 1 card from your hand and KO 2 of the 4 or lower cost characters on your opponent's board. So we use the MH5 to tap down 2 of their characters, and then we're going to, I was trying to decide exactly what I wanted to trash here, and if I remember correctly, I think we go with the Geen or the Okiku. We go with the Okiku because it's so late game that setting up for a turn and then having her there, it's not as beneficial like with this deck, in my opinion. I might be wrong on that. Let me know below. But anyways, at this point, I was deciding whether or not I wanted to use the Dawn to add power or to save 1 for the beige, but we go ahead and put the beige out. It'll help us survive, you know, at least 1 attack there. And if we can survive 1 attack, then we have the Krieg that can go in. We have the Kuro, which we can, you know, restand if needed. All we gotta do is play one of our East Blue characters, but we do have to. There's a lot of Dawn management in this deck, like more so than what I'm used to, and I think that was kind of my issue with the deck. So we do get the Hotshot from life, and its trigger is just to play the card, but it's a 2k counter, and at this point in the game, it's better to keep the 2k counter in hand. The body does help. The triggers on a lot of these East Blue characters to allow them to just be played from life. It helps with something like Kuro, because then you have the bodies on field to rest to activate the ability. And then you have things like the 2-cost Momu and the 1-cost Alvida in the deck, which will, again, you can play them for cheap, and then you get to keep some Dawn up so you can utilize Kuro's effect more effectively. Ability more effectively. Sorry, I said that wrong. But anyways, I'm just kind of deciding exactly how to disperse my Dawn here, because we are in a position where we could kind of push for close to game. And if I remember correctly, I don't think we actually see it all the way through. I think we get to a point where my opponent knows that because of how I've pushed, they just concede essentially. So we're gonna go in with 10k on Krieg, and I don't think they realized it was double attack. Krieg's other ability is attach 1 Dawn. On attack, it gets double attack, and this was the time where I think they realized that, you know, if I go in the right way, because of Django restanding the Krieg here, I mean, they couldn't get out of it. They didn't have any Dawn. So essentially that was the match. It was after like an hour and a half of playing through games that got really close, and I just wanted to get a video out that kind of really captured what this deck can do, and this game kind of did that. The Django that we played there at the end, there's only one of in the deck, so if you see it and Krieg and you can pull off that maneuver just there, you're doing good. So I probably should have left one more Dawn open so I could have swung again with the Kuro, but it worked out because they did get the Fiery Doll, I think it's called, that gave my Kuro negative 10,000 power, which is absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, I should have attached the other 2 Dawn to the Krieg. I think what my thought process there was I had the 2-drop blocker, so if I didn't get to push completely for game, I could put the 2-drop blocker on board and then have 2 blockers to survive a couple of turns, and then also have a couple of counters. I knew that they were going to have to worry about my Krieg on board if they wanted to, like, you know, potentially go for the next turn. Because even with the Edward Newgate on board, I had 2 blockers. I would have been able to get out of at least 2 attacks. And they had no clue what was in my hand. With 2 Dawn up, they probably thought I had like a Punk Gibson or something as well. So all in all, I think it was a really good game. I was completely wrong about Kuro. I'm really looking forward to playing with Iceberg and seeing how that deck works, and also revisiting the tier list, because I'm going to play the deck some more. I'll have, you know, more videos on them on the channel. So until next time, if you liked it, hit the like button. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Help us grow the channel, and I will see you later. Have a wonderful day. Peace.